Okay, so who is excited about another chance to create?
Always.
Yay! Yes, this should be the spirit. When we meditate with an intention, imagine Christmas Day when you're opening your gifts, the feeling of receiving something very special. That should be our same. Because if you meditate daily or if you meditate very consistently, it can become a chore if you make it a chore. If you make it a duty, then it becomes a duty. But if you make it something fun and exciting, like an appointment with God, an appointment with the divine, then this should be exciting moment. So we're gonna do the same meditation as was it like 3 weeks ago? And some of you were on this one, and I really liked it. So I don't know if you've noticed that there's times when you can manifest things really quickly. Like you think about it and then it's just right there in front of you. Like there was a time when Anna, my sister, Karina, she likes to dress really nice and she had a beautiful necklace and it was a very embellished necklace. And Anna saw it and she said, "Oh my God, I like it." And Karina said, "Well, I'm not gonna give it to you." And she said, "Oh, I want that one or it's equivalent." So she just said it like that jokingly. Not even 15 minutes later, a friend of us shows up to the office and she invites us to lunch. So we go to lunch, and then after that, she says, "Follow me. Just follow me." So we follow her, and she takes us to this store. As soon as we walk in, guess what? It was filled with the same type of necklaces, exactly the same type of necklace that Karina was wearing. And she said, "Each one of you can choose one. I'm going to gift you one." It happened within hours. And that happens when there's no resistance, when there's not an underlying program that tells you that it's not possible. Anna didn't have an attachment to that necklace, and she saw it as something fun. And therefore, she said, "I want that or its equivalent." And it just worked like magic. Now, what happens when something feels like a struggle, like it takes a lot of energy, or that there's obstacles, or maybe the old programming that says that it cannot be done, or that it's impossible, or that it could not happen to you, or that it'll require a miracle? And sometimes we associate miracles with the impossible. Um, and sometimes you just don't know why, but it's just not here. And you've been meditating, and it's just not here. And the reason for it is because we have resistance. In other words, we feel something subconsciously that goes against what we're trying to manifest. So imagine that you're in front of a door and you reach for the handle and it actually turns. But when you're trying to open it, it's like it's not budging, and you put a little bit more force and it just doesn't open. And then you realize that there's something behind that door. But in that door, it's to the room that has everything that you want. So you realize that room is filled with stuff um, that can be pressing against that door. And it could be like a big piece of furniture that could be representing your old beliefs, your old you, that still there's some lingering piece of you still out there. Or it could be like a box filled with fears or just not wanting to step into something that you are not familiar with, something that you don't know, and you say, "Well, I really want that, but there's always that but." And that is the reason why it can be a hurdle, like for a manifestation to materialize. Or it could be like unprocessed emotions, like past disappointments. Maybe you had a bad experience and you just rather not expose yourself. Let's call it expose yourself. or maybe just outdated perspectives. I mean, it's just ideas that since you're not really actively looking at them, you don't know they're still there, but they're there. So all of those beliefs are represented by furniture, like heavy furniture that are pressing against the door towards your optimal reality. So what do we do when we have a room full of clutter? What do we do? Well, we start looking at them and asking ourselves, do they still serve me? Is it getting in the way of something new, something different? And then you start getting rid of it, right? So what I want to do today is to, just like a physical room, when you know that you want energy to move in your house and you start rearranging the furniture and you start cleaning up and getting rid of stuff and donating and selling and stuff like that. Uh, we're going to do the same today in our meditation. So what we're going to do is we're going to go past that door, and then we're going to identify those pieces of furniture and make them just go away. Like, let them disappear, let them transmute into pure light, pure energy that is going to be a fuel for our manifestations. So, in other words, we are getting rid of the hard, of the difficult, of that it cannot be done. And we're going to get excited, like I said, this moment. And I realized that, like I said it in the last call, that if we really believed that we create with our thoughts and our emotions, and that we are doing this meditation with intention, then this should be a very important moment, a very exciting moment where I get to choose my reality and I get to make it my reality with my thoughts and my emotions. So if you're not excited yet, just believe me, it works. And I'm sure here all of you have had at least one thing happen because of your meditations. I see a few of you that already had manifestations. So every time you get a
Yes.
manifestation, yes. So every time that you get a manifestation, it's kind of feeds onto the next one. Like, oh, this one already worked. So what's next? What am I going to create next? Because I know it worked, because it just worked right now. So, and if you haven't had any, please call me. There's gotta be something that we can do. All right. So,
Patty,
uh,
can I share something real quick?
yes, ma'am.
Yes, I know, like in the past calls that we've had, I don't know if my call drops or I get, lost at the end of the meditation. But one thing that I've been practicing a lot, of course, meditating and everything, but I've been surrendering a lot, and it's like magic.
Yeah.
I surrender. Like when I start to feel a little anxious, I'm like, so I just start surrendering, my feelings, my worries, and it just turns everything back, and it's just like joy, joy, joy.
Yes. So that's exactly like when I was saying with what Anna did with that necklace, that she said that or its equivalence, she didn't get fixated on that particular necklace. So kind of surrender to that one or another one equivalent. And when you surrender, there's really no resistance, right? I mean, you're saying, okay, I let go, let it be. So this goes very well with this theme, the surrendering part where you're letting go of that thought that didn't serve you. But yeah, so your calls are not getting dropped. What I'm doing is, some of you, um when I ask at the end, uh have messaged me afterwards, and I noticed that a lot of times you want to stay in that state, that you want to, if you're meditating and you want to lay down at the end and just kind of stay in that feeling that I don't want to start talking, so I just disconnect the call. So this is a moment that you can have on your own, where in silence, that you can continue basking in the energy of your creation, of your intention. So I'm going to do the same today. But if you have any comments, you can put them on the chat afterwards. All right, everybody ready then?
Yes.
Yay, everybody
Yes.
excited.
Yes.
Okay. I am going to have a quantum leap in English in July. So if you know anybody that might be interested, this is the first one that I do in English. I'll be doing the other ones in Spanish, and I'm going to have another one that is a quantum alchemy, and that one is just to transmute one thing that you've been working on and that it hasn't worked. And that one is on Zoom, and it's going to be on May 25th. It just randomly happened that it's going to be 5/25/25. So that one is more to, we're going to focus for the 21 days in one area of your life that you want to change. And I've been doing those challenges on my own for 21 days, just focusing on one thing. And believe me that the more you focus on one thing, the more that you learn about yourself, because everything that we do has a root and has a program or has a it's a belief, like a deep-rooted belief. And if it's the more difficult it is, that means it's deeply rooted, and we gotta dig it out, just like that. All right, so get comfy and let me turn off the video, and I'm gonna ask you in a bit. Okay. Is it too loud? Is it better? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Just a little low, but yes.
All right, hold on.
The music is louder.
Okay, can you hear me better?
Yes.
Is that better?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
much better.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so close your eyes. Relax. And take a deep breath in through your nose. And exhale. And relax. Soften your jaw. Quiet your mind. And let your shoulders drop. Breathe in. And feel a sense of expansion. As you exhale, let go of all tension and just relax. Now bring your awareness deep inside of you and ask yourself, what if the only thing standing between me and my desires was my willingness to let go? I am willing to let go. Now you find yourself standing in a golden hallway. The air around you shimmers with possibility, and it feels magical. There's a sense of excitement in your belly. and your heart expands with anticipation. Just a few steps ahead, you see a door. This is your door, the doorway to your desires, your dreams, your highest manifestations. You can feel the energy from the other side of the door. So warm, so expansive, so familiar, because it's already yours. And that sense of excitement in your heart. You step forward and reach for the handle. But as you try to open the door, it won't move. It is stuck. You push again, and nothing. Something heavy is pressing from the other side. You know what to do. So you take a deep breath and shift your awareness beyond the door. And suddenly you see inside the room. It is filled with furniture, large, heavy pieces blocking the way. Each one carrying a memory, a belief, a story that you've been holding on to, but you no longer need. You realize this room is your subconscious, and all of this clutter has been shaping your reality. But here's the truth. This is your space, and you have the power to clear it. So take a deep breath in and feel that golden light begin to radiate from your heart. Feel its warmth. Feel the power of your heart. Feel the love. This is the energy of truth, of clarity, of infinite possibility. With every inhale and exhale, this golden light grows stronger and stronger. It completely fills the room. And as it does, something incredible happens. You feel this rush of energy in your body. You step forward and place your hands on the biggest piece of furniture, the one holding you back the most. Whatever it represents, maybe it's self-doubt, fear of failure. Maybe it's a belief that manifesting is hard. Whatever it is, you feel its weight. You acknowledge it. And then you whisper, "Thank you for trying to protect me, but I no longer need you." Feel the power of those words. Letting go with love, through love, in love. As you exhale, it vibrates, it cracks and dissolves into golden dust. The same golden dust that feels your new reality. One by one, you move through the room, touching each old belief, each limitation, thanking it, releasing it, transmuting it into pure, beautiful light. Do that now. As you go through each item, you feel lighter, you feel free, and the space around you opens up, expanding. There's no limitations for you anymore. And now, as you're behind the door again, you just know it is time, it is done. Step forward, take a deep breath, and gently push the door. This time it swings and opens effortlessly. And on the other side, you see everything you have been calling in. You feel the success, feel the love, the joy, the abundance, that shimmering light falling upon you, creating the love, success, the health, the joy, the abundance. Feel as a wave of energy washes over you. Feel a surge of joy, a rush of freedom, a deep knowing that you're exactly where you're meant to be. Breathe it in. Let every cell in your body absorb this reality. Feel this truth anchoring into your reality. Feel the gratitude and the love and the expansion of your creation. You did it. It is done. Place your hands over your heart and whisper to yourself, thank you, thank you, thank you. It is already mine. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is already mine. Feel those words settle deep into your being. Feel them in your heart. You are free and you're unlimited. Bask in this feeling. This shimmering light of nothingness and everything. The path is clear for you to create even more. With love, through love, in love. Now breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Okay, when you're ready, you can open your eyes or linger longer in this feeling.